Okay, so today we have a little bit of a collaboration going on between me and ATDCC Colby. You guys might have seen this guy on my live streams before, so we have him today for a very interesting subject. So, Colby, go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers.
So yeah, I'm ATDCC Colby, and I've been on a few of his streams before, and that's really it.
But yeah, me and Colby, we're pretty good friends on here, so we also have very similar viewings to the subject we'll be discussing today. And that will be the school system. Again, because it's so easy to shit on the school system, isn't it?
Yes.
So, not just that, obviously, because like there are some certain viewpoints he actually was able to express on Discord that I'll be reading off for this one. So, I have the conversation pulled up right now so I can read off some certain points. Basically, the way we're going to do this is he'll read off a point, then I'll read off a point, and then we'll like discuss them one by one as we go on. So, Colby, I don't know if you're on Discord or not, but if you are, then go and read off the first point that you sent.
Okay, so the first one I had mentioned is math, which is we could probably get rid of most of the complex equations we won't ever use in normal life, and replace it with like a class that you learn how to do your taxes in, just because it'll be really useful for later in life, or convert units into measurement, and you can just take it for however long you need to be proficient in it, since it's a really important skill to have in life.
True that. And I 100% agree with that. I don't know why they don't already have that in schools. Like, you'd think with how times have changed over these years, because think about it, the American school system was once the best school system because of what it was set up for. Back in the day, most people after school would go into factory work. So, our school really hasn't changed much from the factory work days. And that's mostly why our school system is shit. So, like, nowadays we have all these other job options except for instead of factories, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. So I don't know why they didn't update this for modern times, but I 100% agree with you. I definitely think what you would call that, maybe, well, not economics class, because that's already a class that's in school. Like, just give me a class that shows me how to, like, pay a mortgage, do my taxes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't already have that. It's something I really don't even feel like I should have to explain to a school. A place where the whole point of it is to learn. But let's read off the next one here. So, for English Language Arts, or ELA, he says you're doing a survival unit and writing paragraphs on each individual thing, and at the bottom writing 2 sentences of what it takes to survive. We could turn this into reading survival related media and discussing everything you need to survive, and at the end of the unit combine all the ideas to 1 paragraph of everything you might need to survive, which should be useful in life. This could be a quarter of a yeet combined all the ideas to 1 paragraph of everything. Oh, what? Yeet. Yeet. This could be a quarter of a yeet. I thought that was another part of the sentence. Wow, I basically just read that thing twice. Because he put, this could be the quarter of the yeet.
That was supposed to be here. Somehow I messed that up. So anyway, it could just be like a quarter of the school year.
Yeah. Like, English should be something. God damn it. English should be something. I guess you're not the only one that's botching up stuff today with like grammar. No wonder we're still in English class. But like, English should be something that you learn in elementary school, and then you can kind of overhaul it a little bit whenever you go into middle and high school. What do you think of that?
I think that's probably a good idea, We don't need to learn all these complex things or write these very long essays about stuff we're never going to need to know in real life. Just teach us more of the basics. You don't need to write like 10-page essays about a small topic. And do hours of research on something that's never gonna be helpful for us in everyday life.
Yeah. I don't... like I said before, I don't know how they haven't changed this stuff already. But, moving on from that, Colby, next.
As both of them involve some sort of reactions, and it would be much more useful in real life than biology, because unless you're going to be a scientist or something, there's really no use for it. And if it was cooking, it would help you in real life actually survive and provide for your family or something, which would be really useful. And it can just be a 2-year class of learning how to cook all sorts of things.
Biology should be something that you could still like take as like an elective class. Hell, they could even put that into. They could even make biology something that you learn in college. But, hey, cooking is a lot more important than fucking biology.
Yeah.
Think about it. What would you rather have? The knowledge of how you eat and digest food, or actually doing that? I think I'd much rather actually be able to eat that than know how I eat stuff. Like, it's not something that we're gonna really need. What we're actually gonna need is know how to get the food. And, like, maybe a hunting class for that? Like, that would actually be pretty nice. Have, like, a hunting class. If you want to put a hunting class in there, sign me up. Not even just because I get to use, like, a gun. Because hunting's actually genuinely interesting to me. That could be another elective class, actually. But you could, like, learn gun safety. You could learn, like, how to... Actually, that could even play a little bit into biology, too, because of dissecting. You know, you're going to have to cut open a deer to get the venison to eat. So, that kind of plays a little bit of a role in that. So, it kind of could be made into a hunting class. In case anybody's ever in a survival situation. Which can definitely happen if you're like on a plane trip and they crash in the middle of nowhere. Might seem like a plot for a cartoon, but it has happened.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no. Alright, I'm gonna go and read the next point here, so let's stop the supercharged charisma. Alright. A language should still be an option for a class, but not required, as likely you won't need to use it much, and there are good translate apps if you need it. I 100% agree. There are so many translating apps like Google Translate. That's pretty much the only translation app I actually know. But
Apple also came out with a new translation app on the iOS 14 update that's really good.
I actually don't know what my iPhone's at. I don't even know what iOS they're at this point. But all I know is that translation apps exist for a reason. Okay? They exist for a reason. And we don't need to be learning these languages in school if we can easily just translate them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is nice if you want to, like, let's say you want to move to a different country. Then yeah, like, you should still be able to take that class and learn their language. But if you really do plan to do that, then why not just learn their language after you've moved to the country? I mean, I feel like the teachers that would actually be in the country you're trying to go to learn their language would have more experience than a goddamn teacher in an American school district. So, might be a little bit of a better option.
So, my next point is that history should just become more of a current events class, just to show us what's actually happening in life, and how it ties back to the past and what possible outcomes of the situation would be, which could actually be useful in life because you could learn how history influences current events and such. And it could be like 3/4 of a year class and have the first part of the class be the survival unit. And I also think, just to add on to this, PE should be the same as it's been, just because that's a good class to have.
Yeah, physical education. You know, you can use gym equipment, stay fit. But civics class already exists. Isn't that kind of already like a current events class? Because that's the way I saw it at my school.
Kind of, but I don't. But it would probably be a lot easier and more useful for life if they actually just combine like a history class and some sort of current event class into one, because that could
Kinda
actually
like civics and then history in
help.
the one class.
Yeah. And maybe have it as like, it could show you statistics and stuff and help you just learn what could happen, how to be prepared if situations could play out like they have in the past.
Yeah, like they could be covering
just-
the recent George Floyd situation, the recent wildfires in California.
Yeah.
They could be covering this stuff in school and warning and letting us know, like, hey, don't be a retard and start a fucking wildfire at a gender reveal party. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how that happened at a, like, that's just stupid. But, you know, I definitely think that we should have some sort of current events class. It'd be very fascinating.
So what all this would do would probably just bring class down to 3 classes that you'd have to take a year, and the school would probably only take you in total like 2 years, which is half of what it is normally. And about the same, just because my class does blocks.
Okay, your mic's cutting out again.
Probably remain the same for me, just because my class or school has 3 periods a day and block schedules, so it might be the same length or shorter, and it would only take 2 years of schooling, which would make it so that you can get into the real world and do stuff with your life and make money faster.
Yes. Why is this F1 car being so stupid? But, next point here. We have nothing else.
Yeah.
So, these are some very good views here. I'm not talking about YouTube either, I'm talking about his views. His views on the situation. But let's do a quick recap on everything that we had so far. We have math, getting rid of the complex equations that we don't need, and basically turning math class into kind of a class about how to do your taxes and such. For English language arts, kind of like toning it down a little bit with like 10-page essays and bullshit like that we are never gonna actually need. For biology, it should become a cooking, or possibly, as I discussed earlier, possibly even a hunting class. That can involve lots of different things and be much more useful than biology. But biology still should be available to you as an elective class. We should definitely make languages an elective class and not a required class. Now, at my school, I don't believe they're actually required. But there was kind of like a demo that you are required. It was hell for me. I don't even know how I passed that class. But history should become more of a current events class that could tell us basically what's going on in around. What the hell did I even say there? Basically, could tell us what's going on around us in our society, and also like what to do and what not to do, who to follow, whose footsteps to follow in, pretty much. There should be no real change to physical education or PE. And overall, these changes will not only make the school a lot more useful, but it will make school a lot shorter, so you can get out into the real world and doing stuff and being productive faster. Which is kind of what society wants you to do. So, overall, I agree with everything here. Colby, is there anything else you'd like to add? I don't know if you said anything, your mic cut out completely there.
I can think of.
Nothing you can think of? Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to end this video here. So, that's our idea, to kind of overhaul the school system and actually make it useful. But, do you guys agree with our list? Let us know in the comment section below. And also, be sure to go check out DCC Colby's channel. I'll see if I can link it in the description of this video when this video gets posted. But anyways, though, this has been Nerfmaster 101 Lamborghini and ATDCC Colby. And we'll both see you hopefully in the future soon. We'll see you guys later.